Hey, in today's video, I'm sharing 15 influencer marketing terms that you need to know when discussing partnerships with brands. And as an influencer partnering with brands, it's really important that you're familiar with some specific terms so that you can feel really confident speaking with brands in meetings, negotiating with their teams, and of course, signing contracts, right? And let's be real, gone are the days when an attractive media kit really stands out to brands. Is it important? Yes, of course. But you really need to go the extra mile at this point to get on a brand's radar in order to actually secure the partnerships that you're aiming for, right? And that really starts with chatting with brands to discover exactly what their goals are so that you can determine whether or not you're a good fit, okay? And so to help you navigate all of the terms that you may hear brands reference in meetings and conversations and negotiations, I put together a list of must-know influencer marketing terms. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Jay, and I am the creator of 11th Street Studio Influencer Agency. So if you're interested in learning more, definitely check out the links below this video to our membership website and our influencer community. Okay, so let's dig into these terms. The first one is campaign. This term describes a marketing initiative with a very specific end goal. Brands often partner with celebrities, athletes, actors, musicians, and influencers on ad campaigns in order to achieve goals like brand awareness, positive sentiment, to promote upcoming product launches, and of course, to drive sales. Okay, so when you hear a brand talk about campaign, this is what they're getting at, okay? The second term is brand advocate. Brand advocates are influencers who are actively posting about the brand and creating brand awareness organically, but typically are not formally recognized by the brand, nor do they really have any official relationship with them, okay? Third term is engagement rate, and this describes any action taken on your posts. So for example, likes, comments, shares, saves, etc. And within your stories, you're going to count things like swipes and views as engagement. Now, it's important to note that whereas years ago, reach was considered key, now your engagement rate is valued much higher than your reach, typically, okay? So you should always remember to really highlight your engagement rate on your media kit, since it's quite often the determining factor when brands are choosing influencers to align with, since it's so closely linked to their immediate ROI. Now, the next term is reach, which I just mentioned, and this is a term that is used to describe the number of people who viewed your post, okay? It can be used to describe the size of your audience or even the number of views that your stories get. And the next term is media kit. Now, you probably already know this term very well, but occasionally I do meet with influencers who are unfamiliar with this term. So I just wanted to add this last minute in case anyone watching is brand new to the space. A media kit is a multi-page document, often designed by a graphic designer, that highlights things like your current reach, engagement rate, audience demographics, and of course, your contact info. And it really provides much more in-depth information about you than a simple one sheet does, right? And it also includes an about section as well as any earned media that you might have. So make sure A, you have one, and B, that it's very visually appealing, always up to date, and of course, on brand. This way you can be confident that you're always making a positive first impression on every brand that views it. The next term is one sheet. Now, occasionally a brand will ask to see your one sheet along with your media kit. And as you may have guessed, this is a one-page document highlighting all of your essential information. And it's something that they like to just keep on hand and just kind of like tucked away so that they can quickly access it and share it, you know, for example, with their colleagues if they need to show them, you know, some influencers really quick that they're considering for an upcoming campaign without digging in too much, okay? So make sure if you have a one sheet, and you should, that it's very clear and concise, and of course, super easy to read. Next term is case study. Case studies are essentially a breakdown of a previous campaign or campaigns that prove effectiveness and ROI, or return on investment. In it, you can highlight things like overall campaign reach, impressions, click-through rates, etc., to prove how valuable your influence is whenever you find yourself negotiating with brands that you've really never worked with before, okay? Experienced influencers often highlight the results that they've driven for other brands through case studies, and for good reason. Also, I'd like to note that many brands are now requesting influencers provide case studies so that they can be confident that they're choosing the best influencer for their upcoming campaigns. So keep that in mind. Always be prepared to show one in case they do request that. Next term is contract. Now, before you begin any partnership with a brand, it is essential that both parties sign a legal contract to protect themselves. Contracts are often written by lawyers, and as such, in my opinion, should be reviewed by lawyers, okay? Remember, anything you sign is legally binding. So if you have any doubt at all as to what you're signing, please, 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 please review it with a lawyer before going forward with the campaign. Now, on a rare occasion, a brand does not mention a contract. By all means, I recommend hiring a lawyer to prepare one for you before moving forward, just so that you're on the up and up and everyone's on the same page with the partnership, okay? Next term is exclusivity. Okay, this is very important to know and get comfortable with, because you want to be prepared when a brand mentions it, if they mention it, okay? Influencers who sign exclusivity contracts are essentially agreeing not to partner with a brand's competitor or all brands in a specific category for a specified time frame, okay? And while this can pay significantly well, just remember in the future, other brands may choose not to work with influencers who've agreed to exclusive contracts in the past, since their face and personal brand are essentially associated now with the previous brand, whom likely is their competitor, okay? So, and again, if this comes up and you have any question about it, please consult a lawyer before entering into any exclusivity contracts. Okay, next term is FTC, and this refers to the Federal Trade Commission, which is a government agency that regulates advertising in the United States. And since influencers and influencer marketing falls into this category, individual influencers are legally responsible for disclosing their relationship with brands when sharing content and reviews on whatever platform you're on, right? So whether that's a blog or Instagram or TikTok, you get the point. Luckily, the endorsement disclosure guidelines are pretty straightforward, and they're important because consumers should be able to easily distinguish between organic social media posts and paid advertisements, right? So make sure to follow the guidelines, because not doing so could result in some very stiff penalties. I'll link to the FTC's endorsement guidelines in the description below if you want to learn more about what's required. Okay, next term is EOD, and this stands for end of day. And it's used by brands to refer to the end of the business day. And keep in mind that this refers to their time zone, not yours, okay? So always remember to factor in time zone differences when communicating with brands and sending over any deliverables. Okay, so the next term is approval process. More often than not, when partnering with brands, they're going to want to approve of your content prior to it going live. So make sure that everyone on the brand's marketing team agrees whether or not you need their approval prior to posting. And if they do, make sure to send your deliverables over when they are due, and of course, in their time zone. Okay, the next term is photo waiver, and this is perhaps one of the most important terms that you need to be aware of, since it releases any ownership you have over the content that you create to the brand, okay? And as a side note, you may also hear this referred to as a photo release. So if you want to retain ownership of your images, please consult with a lawyer before signing away your photo rights, okay? Worst case scenario, a brand may use your image for marketing purposes in the future, and that can cause your personal brand a lot of future PR problems and money. So as always, whenever you're in doubt, please have a lawyer review any documents, including photo waivers, so that you and the brand can be crystal clear about what you own, what they own, and how they can use your images for promotional purposes in the future. Okay, next term is press trip. This refers to any live in-person event organized by a brand to promote their products or services, okay? So for example, product launches or all-inclusive paid trips. These both qualify as press trips. And this term really covers any and all events that you're invited to attend in exchange for promotion on your platform. Okay, so the next term is geared more towards YouTubers and TikTokers. And this is dedicated content. And this is when a brand wants an entire YouTube video dedicated to the brand. So it's like a dedicated review. Or maybe they want an entire TikTok video dedicated to reviewing the brand, okay? Now, integrated content is another term you might hear, and this is referring to maybe a minute or 2-minute plug for the brand within your video. So basically a mention of the brand and one that sounds a bit more natural than dedicating an entire video to review. Now, let's just chat about one more thing, and that is legal teams. There is a reason why brands hire lawyers, okay? And for that same reason, influencers, in my opinion, need them too. So if you haven't already, now is the time to find a lawyer that you can trust to review your contracts and make sure that you're only signing contracts that have your best interest in mind. Okay, that's it for this video. I know that's a lot of terms, and I'm going to create another video in the future listing some more advanced terms. So definitely stay tuned for that. And of course, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about what I just covered, please leave that in a comment below, and I will do my best to answer any questions in an upcoming video. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, check out the links to the influencer agency website and our membership website below this video to find out how you can join our community, and also to learn about our membership website, where you can find unlimited e-courses on all things influencer marketing, social media growth, and social psychology for social media. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.